The anti-flamenquismo of La Generación del 98. Flamenquismo, defined by the Royal Spanish Academy as a fondness for flamenco art and customs, is a conceptual catch-all where flamenco singing and a fondness for bullfighting, among other traditional Spanish elements, fit. These customs were strongly attacked by the generation of 98, all its members being anti-flamenco, except for the Machado brothers, Manuel and Antonio. Being civilians and sons of the folklorist Demófilo Machado, the brothers had a more complex view of the matter. The greatest standard-bearer of anti-flamencism was the Madrid writer Eugenio Noel, who, in his youth, had been a militant classicist. Noel attributed to flamenco and bullfighting the origin of the ills of Spain, which he saw as manifestations of the country's oriental character, which hindered economic and social development. These considerations caused an insurmountable rift to be established for decades between flamenco and most intellectuals of the time. The flamenco opera. Between 1920 and 1955, flamenco shows began to be held in bullrings and theaters, under the name flamenco opera. This denomination was an economic strategy of the promoters, since opera only paid 3% while variety shows paid 10%. At this time, flamenco shows spread throughout Spain and the main cities of the world. The great social and commercial success achieved by flamenco at this time eliminated some of the oldest and most sober styles from the stage, in favor of lighter airs, such as cantinas, los cantes de ida y vuelta, and fandangos, of which many personal versions were created. The purist critics attacked this lightness of the cants, as well as the use of falsetto and the gaitero style. In the line of purism, the poet Federico Garcia Lorca and the composer Manuel de Falla had the idea of concurso de cantar jondo en Granada in 1922. Both artists conceived of flamenco as folklore, not as a scenic artistic genre. For this reason, they were concerned, since they believed that the massive triumph of flamenco would end its purest and deepest roots. To remedy this, they organized a cantar jondo contest, in which only amateurs could participate, and in which festive cants, such as cantinas, were excluded, which Falla and Lorca did not consider condominiums, but flamencos. The jury was chaired by Antonio Chacon, who at that time was the leading figure in cantor. The winners were El Tenazas, a retired professional cantor from Morón de la Frontera, and Manuel Ortega, an 8-year-old boy from Seville who would go down in flamenco history as Manolo Caracol. The contest turned out to be a failure due to the scant echo it had, and because Lorca and Falla did not know how to understand the professional character that flamenco already had at that time, striving in vain to seek a purity that never existed in an art that was characterized by mixture and the personal innovation of its creators. Apart from this failure, with a generation of 27, whose most eminent members were Andalusians and therefore knew the genre firsthand, the recognition of flamenco by intellectuals began. At that time, there were already flamenco recordings related to Christmas, which can be divided into two groups: the traditional flamenco carol and flamenco songs that adapt their lyrics to the Christmas theme. These changes have been maintained to this day. The Zambamba Jerezana, being spatially representative, declared an asset of intangible cultural interest by the Junta de Andalusia in December 2015. During the Spanish Civil War, a large number of singers were exiled or died defending the Republic and the humiliations to which they were being subjected by the National Party. Bando Nacional, Caruco de Algeciras, Chiconcito, El Carbonarillo, El Cheto de los Ventas, Vallejido, Rita La Cantera, Angelillo, Rita are some of them. In the post-war period and the first years of the Franco regime, the world of flamenco was viewed with suspicion, as the authorities were not clear that this genre contributed to the national conscience. However, the regime soon ended up adopting flamenco.
Cuando más te quería, ay, me dijiste que no.